Okay, so yeah, I actually went through like a few concepts. I've been working on this for like the past 3 hours of what I should do. I've been thinking about it, and I actually didn't know what to do until now, and I think it's fitting and kind of perfect for me to do a regular old salvage Arkham, salvage gaming, salvage universe, salvage just salvage, and then salvage 1009 commentary. I have not done one of those in a while, but yes, as you've seen from the title, as you saw in the title, this is my 1 year on YouTube, literally today. Uh, this is crazy, to be honest, because it feels like a few months. It's like summer flew by, the first semester of school flew by, it just all went by so fast, and I didn't really expect to be where I am today. You know, I've always used a few, I guess to say, YouTubers as an example. One of them being Ali A and T Martin. Of course, I think Slickamoff doesn't like those guys because they are pretty annoying, to be honest, sometimes, but not all the times, but they are pretty annoying. But Ali A, he said, I only had 100 subscribers the first year I did YouTube. And T Martin said, I had so and so subscribers. And, to hear those guys say, well, I only had this amount of subscribers when I started, and then seeing my subscribers in a year, like the same time, like they did it for a year, they got this many subscribers. I did it for a year, I got this many subscribers. But it's kind of crazy to see that I got more subscribers in a year than some of these bigger YouTubers before they start, like when they started. And I've made a lot of enemies, a lot of people disliking me and not really liking my opinions or not really liking my personality or just plainly not liking me for the simple fact of not liking me. And I completely understand that. I don't like some people for certain reasons. I don't like, people that are, just blindly following anybody who hates another person without, giving their own opinion. They're just sheep. I don't like people who are followers. I like people who are leaders. And that's why I always say, if you're going to unsub, leave. If you're going to be disrespectful, if you're going to be a jerk, if you're just going to be a douchebag, leave. Because honestly, I'm kind of glad that you're going to leave because you're going to be a leader. If you leave, if you unsub, rather it be for personal opinion, or you just like hate me and then you say that I'm a douchebag or I did something to you or I insulted you, good, really good, because you're actually maturing and you're going to become a leader and you're going to come back and you're going to say, wow, I'm really happy I actually unsub from you because now I kind of learned what it means to be a leader. Of course, you're probably following other people, but it's still that. Uh, Now, really, I been through a lot the past year. I'm not gonna say like I've been through the worst tragedies ever because honestly, I really haven't. I haven't really lost any family members. My grandma was sick back in I think July, but besides that, I haven't lost any. I lost one family member, but honestly, I didn't even know him because my mom doesn't like him. So since my mom doesn't like him, I never really knew of him, and I never really got to know the guy. So I wasn't really sad that that person died because I didn't even know them. I didn't even know who the hell they were. So really, I haven't lost anybody this year. I did get into some heated debates with a few other YouTubers. One of them being such a coward that they had to give me a copyright strike, but that's not here nor there. Uh, you know, uh, just honestly, altogether, this year has been a very fun year. Even if I have gotten copyright strikes from it, I honestly learned from that. And to be completely honest, I keep saying honest, keep saying to be honest, I'm sorry. But, I felt like I've learned so much and I've matured so much in the last year than I've ever have. And I know a lot of people call me immature for my rants and call me an asshole for my rants. But here's the thing, I literally make a few rants every single month, or if not every single month, I make a few rants maybe once a week. And that's what you have to do to be a normal human being. If you don't like something, if you think something's crazy or stupid or just completely out of like touch with reality, you need to speak up and, give your opinion or you're going to explode. You're not going to really be human. I mean, I'm just saying the fact that, some people just bottle up their emotions, their anger, and, just post on Twitter. Twitter's not enough because you're typing it. You still have that mental, like, you still have that mental process of, man, fuck this, I can't do it. or you still have that weird feeling in your stomach, in your heart saying, I have to talk about this. And I don't hold back. I don't care what anybody says. I'm honest. And I would never lie to you guys. I might get information wrong, and I would even admit that, you know, I've admitted getting tons of information wrong, tons of things wrong, and I was going to upload a flash video saying that I was wrong about Barry Allen being Zoom and Joe being Zoom. It was going to be a funny video, but then I remembered that today has been a year since I started my YouTube channel, and I haven't been on YouTube I haven't made videos for the entire year, and the reason being is because I got so much hate this 1 week for doing nothing except, theorizing about some characters, and I just left. And I just left for I think it was from I don't know, it was from March to April. And I was gonna be done. I was gonna be finished. I was gonna be just like, fuck it, dude, I cannot do this anymore. But then it hit me like literally reality. It was a reality check. Someone just like punched me in the stomach. It hit me, and it was like, well, why should I care what these people think about my theories? I'm having fun telling these theories. I'm having fun making these videos. I'm going to continue to do it. And I guess the moral of the story is don't let people bring you down. People say, like that squirrel solitary guy, he does give some constructive criticism, but not in a positive and calm civil way. See, if he gave constructive criticism in a nice way, I would totally be like, yeah, dude, you're right. You have a point there. And calling my videos clickbait when they weren't, is just plainly stupid. But what I'm trying to actually get at is, don't let anybody bring you down. You know who you are. Don't lie. If you're doing YouTube right now and you actually like doing YouTube, don't lie to your subscribers. There's no point in it. Just like with PC, PC Legos. Why would I lie? Like, tell me right now. What do I have to gain about lying about him threatening to kill my family and him threatening to kill me and calling me homophobic names? I mean, what do I have to gain from somebody who has 54 subscribers? Like, literally, what do I have to gain from someone like him? I have nothing to gain. I had every right to be angry at him. And then after a few days of him, talking smack to one of his friends, I guess, I just lost it. I just went off on him. I made jokes about him on HMA's video. Jokes that he took literally up the butt. And now he's saying that he wants to commit suicide. And, I have people trolling me and saying, I'm going to call the cops, And, it's just ridiculous that this guy literally is lying about committing suicide. He's not going to commit suicide. Somebody told me that he's not going to. I'm not going to release his name because he's a nice guy and he's a nice subscriber. And, I'm not going to really do that to him. But this guy told me, hey, he's lying about this. He's not going to commit suicide. He's just trying to get attention. So, I'm not trying to blast PC Legos here. But when I went on a rant today on my Twitter. You could go to my Twitter right now. I'm not shameless plug, but you could go to my Twitter right now and you could look at this and you could literally see the rant I had. This guy was a lying, slimy person, and it's just wrong that you're lying about killing yourself. Like, I wanted, I guess, okay, this could be a personal story, I guess. Back when Caboose was doing all this shit with me on all the drama, me and him going back and forth sometimes. He never really made a video, which was good. I'm really glad he didn't. Oh, and by the way, a lot of people were asking me why I blocked Caboose. If Caboose is watching this video, or you happen to send him this video, I just want to start by saying to Caboose, the reason I blocked you is because, I really, really, really needed a break from all of, literally the big YouTubers. The ones with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, or just 100,000 subscribers, I just really, really needed a break. And that's why I just left. I just blocked him. I was just like, I can't do this. I need a little break from him. So Caboose, if you are watching somehow magically, I also want to thank you for giving me my first shout out. That really got me going on the Flash Easter egg. You did take down my channel from the link in the description, but that's fine. We were going through some arguments and we were going back and forth. So I understand that. But thank you, Caboose, for a shout out. Thank you for all your help. But I kind of had to block you just to not get burnt out on you and just go off on you. I just wanted to keep a steady relationship, and that's why I blocked you, and that's about it. So now that that's out of the way, I once, and it's going to get really personal, I once wanted to kill myself in just one day. Like literally, that entire day was one of the most depressing days of my life. I was, I wasn't feeling too good, and my grandma went to the hospital because she wasn't feeling too good. She was really, really sick. She's never been sick that bad before, to the point where she had to go to the hospital, but she did go to the hospital, and and then I just kept getting fucking blown up with Caboose, just tagging me in Twitter post after Twitter post. And I understand where he was coming from. He was trying to get his point across, and I told him, like, can you stop? Can you stop? I'm sorry, I won't name you in my videos again. I won't say your name in a video again. Blah blah blah. He just kept going and going and going. So I drove home. I got home, and I made that video, and then he's just tried to play it off like he was cool. And then I made another video where at the end of it, I said I wanted to actually kill myself. And that day was so depressing that I wanted to do it, but instead of doing it, I just laid down in bed and I just fell asleep. I fell asleep because I knew if I would have stayed up any longer listening to posts and comments and Twitter stuff about that I would have actually might have done it. So, that's just something. And I would never lie about that. I would not lie, because that day was so fucking depressing. But when somebody like PC Legos comes around and says, I'm going to kill myself because you made a response video to a video of mine that I told you to respond to. I mean, you told me to respond to that video, and I responded to it, and now it's my fault that you want to hurt yourself over it. Like, I don't see the correlation there. I really, really don't see the correlation of me being the bad guy. Because honestly, you told me to make a response video. I made a response video. I said to my subscribers, that was one of the most commonest rant videos / exposed videos I've ever made. So you should be honored that I did that for you. Now, what I said was, okay, go judge it for yourself, guys. Hey, go judge the video for yourself. So I'm not going to tell you guys to, spam him with dislikes. I didn't say that. I didn't say, hey, spam him with dislikes, guys. He's a douchebag. No, I said, go watch the video yourself. Go judge it yourself. And people did. Some people liked it, but a majority of people disliked it. Because it was just some kid screaming into a mic. And, honestly, it's just like, it's not my fault that you feel that way. You need personal help. You need, like, literal help. It's just like, it's just really fucking insane that somebody tried to blame me for them wanting to commit suicide, even though somebody just told me that they're lying about it. So this is probably gonna be a two-part video. So just to go, yeah. I'm sorry I keep saying we too. It's just like, that's a fucking pet peeve. I've been doing that ever since I started. But honestly, this entire year was one of the most funnest years ever. I got to meet Slickamoff, even though we met in some weird, odd circumstances. He stole my thumbnail, you son of a bitch. I'm joking. I love you, Slickamoff. He took my thumbnail. I was really calm about it at the time because literally at that time, it was still me and Caboose going at it. But I was really calm, and I said, hey man, it's not cool to take people's thumbnails. Can you just not do that again in the future? He was like, hey man, yeah, I'm sorry, I'll change the thumbnail. And I was like, no, don't do that, dude. You're cool, you're good. Don't worry about it. And initially I actually did dislike that video. Sorry, Slickamoff. I'm not gonna lie. I initially disliked that video, and I just had to do it. But then I liked the video after we started talking a little bit more on YouTube. We literally had like a 4-second discussion, and I was just like, this guy's cool. I might as well, I might as well just like his video and subscribe to him. And that's what I did. And that's kind of the first meeting of me and Slickamoff. Now, me and HMA, I don't know how we really met. I mean, we kind of met because of, I keep burping. Fuck me, the asshole.